Is Dr. Kochhar there?
Yeah. Hi.
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 Good evening, Dr. Kochhar. Thank you so much for joining us on this webinar series. I'm ever so grateful for this. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be here on this program. It's wonderful, and it's wonderful to be with you, who's a sleep expert. I think that's really a wonderful thing to be, a sleep
I'm not a
expert.
sleep expert. I'm a nutritionist, but we are trying to create awareness about the sleep issue because what we've seen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I hope you are feeling good and you are good and safe. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So let us go on to the discussion. And what I have been, during this COVID-19 outbreak, what we've seen is this disease has had a profound effect on people's lives. Profound effect on not only, our daily existence, but also on our sleep. Most people nowadays, they are sleep deprived, or they're anxious, they are stressed out, they're not feeling up to it. And because they don't have daily schedule, the routines have changed. A lot of people are working from home. So sleep is one thing which has had a profound effect. It has been negatively impacted. Now, we've always heard that aromatherapy helps, people to alleviate problems like insomnia. So I thought if you could throw some light that how can aromatherapy help people to deal with insomnia, and also what are the essential oils one can use?
Okay. Now, aromatherapy first, it's a very ancient science, in fact, and it is attached to the Ayurveda, actually. It is part of, we have 8 books in the Vedas, and this is part of the Rasayana Tantra. That's the Veda of genetics and the Veda of the geriatrics and the Veda of rejuvenation. And of course, we have the last again, which is the Veda of aphrodisiacs, which of course we see a lot in the Kama Sutra and other things. But what we deal with is the Veda of rejuvenation. Now, aromatherapy works on three different ways. One, of course, it works on the mind. That means it will work for anything that, let's say you have depression, you have stress, you have tension, you have anxiety, and it works on the mind. It also works if you're too hyper. And also then it works on the skin, that for dark circles, high blood pressure, or if we have not dark circles, falling hair, wrinkles. And then it works on any stress related ailments, like for example high blood pressure, you can use it, but there it is used as a complementary form of treatment. So where we come in now with the sleep is we come in for the stress and the tension and the thing. And aromatherapy, of course, is a very, very natural thing and very environmental friendly. Like it is the essential oils from the leaves, the flowers, the roots, the spices, and we use that for treatment for these type of, for all these things. And we cannot use it mixed with chemicals. We have to mix it with another vegetable oil, or we mix it, or it's in the air, or it's mixed with water, and it is mostly used externally. We do not take it inside. So it helps a great deal, and it has no side effects. So what aromatherapy is, and it's been used right through the ages. And of course, like I said, in the Vedas in India, it has been a tradition, and right through it's gone. Also very much with, like Cleopatra used a lot of these essential oils, and it was in Greece and Rome, it has been used a great deal. And right from there it's come down. Everybody forgot about it when we started this chemical thing, but now it is, for the past few years, it's come back again it has been revived. And it works wonderfully. Now, why, sleep, you will know, one of the reasons why essential oil works on sleep is because when we don't, why don't we sleep? Either we are too stressed, or we are got anxiety, like we have right now. There's anxiety, there's stress, there's depression, there's, also you have this hyper kind of thing, your children around, the husband, everything is around. So you're feeling all sort. So that is how I found that aromatherapy really works. And it has been working right through for sleep. And like I always say, instead of taking sleeping,
Oil,
yeah,
which
which
essential oils?
oh, the oils that work, one is lavender. One oil is lavender, and lavender is a wonderful oil for sleep. And you just have to use it. And how do you use it? We put it onto our, on in the center of our palms here. Then we use it on our ears. We smell it, of course, and around your, solar plexus and under your feet, and you go to sleep. It works beautifully. It works just like as though you can sleep like a baby. Wonderful or scent. Now, that is if you have a lot of anxiety and you cannot sleep because of the anxiety, I suggest that we use an oil called orange blossom. It's neroli, it's orange blossom. And this oil, again, use it the same way, or you can put it in a diffuser in your bedroom and go to sleep. There again, it works to glands, this thing. I mean, the smell of it. Because when you smell, we have the hypothalamus there, which goes and gives the message to all the glands, the pituitary hypothalamus.
Right.
So this again will give your message to the adrenal glands to relax, better relax. And the third oil we recommend for sleeping is sandalwood. Sandalwood is a wonderful oil, and again, it helps to calm you down and put you to sleep. So these are the three oils I highly recommend for when you want to sleep, and you can use it like this, or you can use it in other ways, which I can tell you. Like you can use it in a diffuser, put it, then you can use it, just put it through your AC ducts, and so that the smell is there. You can use it in a bath, in bath water, or if you're having a bucket bath, also put a little bit and just use that around. You can use it, I mean, you can put it on a light bulb and switch on the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Put it on the light bulb, just few drops.
Yeah. So a few drops and then switch on the light. Don't put it on a light bulb just like that. The other way you can use it is in a candle. But a candle we don't recommend, because when you go to sleep, it's not. So let's use it on the light bulbs and use it on a bit of cotton, or put it in your hand like this and have just, inhale 3 deep breaths. That helps a great deal.
So we
That really works when you want to sleep or calm you down.
we don't need to mix it with another oil. We just take few drops of it.
Yeah, when for lavender, now lavender you don't need to mix with any oil, because
Right.
lavender and tea, these are the two oils. The rest of the oils we mix with our bath water, we mix with a vegetable oil for a massage or something like that, or we put it in a diffuser or potpourri, so that it just gives you that aroma and that smell. Yeah, and it does work a great deal. And so nowadays we are hearing a lot. Sleep hygiene seems to be a new term to me. What is the sleep hygiene? So what does it mean? I should ask you that.
Right.
What does sleep mean,
Well,
and what are, yeah.
sleep hygiene, we've already heard about hygiene, hand hygiene, and all of that. But, sleep hygiene is a new term which simply means good sleeping habits. It doesn't mean anything more than that.
Oh,
Yes. Because, a lot of people now,
that's great.
especially the young people, I mean, even teenagers for that matter, and people in their early 20s, early 30s, and even older people are not sleeping enough. Most people are sleep deprived. And that's why this whole new terminology has come about, talking about sleep hygiene, because this was something which we thought we already know about, but we have realized that people are not taking the sleep seriously, and they think that if you sleep less, it doesn't really matter. But lack of sleep or sleep deprivation is being linked to many metabolic disorders, from obesity to high blood pressure to metabolic syndrome, all of that. Even depression and anxiety is being linked to it. So that's why this whole topic has become so relevant today, and people are being, people like us are talking about it today. So just to make people aware that how important sleep is. And I think uh, the four important points when you talk about sleep hygiene is that uh, we need to expose ourselves to natural sunlight. Exposure to sunlight or to natural light has become really less, which is affecting our sleep cycle.
Mm.
Because we're not seeing so much of natural light, we're not exposing our body to it. So, our body's clock is getting affected by that negatively. The other thing is we need to have fixed hours of sleep. I mean, even if you sleep late, sleep at the same time every day, and try and clock in at least 8 hours of sleep every day. The other thing is exposure to blue light. Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. And it's very interesting. Exposure to blue light, you said.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Right. So again, exposure to blue light
Has,
because of the smartphones and the tablets. See, we are talking about being less exposed to blue light, but it's easier said than done, because especially during this pandemic, what we are really relying on is to connect with people is the internet, our phones, our mobiles, our
yeah,
laptops. We're doing Zoom meetings, so the exposure to blue light has increased. So these are different times, and we need to see that we don't expose ourselves to blue light a lot towards the later part of the day. We need to peter it down as the day ends. So that's very important. And also, don't have too much of caffeine and even too much of water at night if you have insomnia. Like what I have observed, like a lot of my patients have called,
that's
people are drinking a lot of different concoctions,
mhm.
herbs and water, and just to keep themselves hydrated, because they've been hearing that to fight the virus we need to be hydrated well. So some people are going overboard with this, and they're drinking so much water that
Oh,
they're unable to sleep at night, because they have to go to the loo
yeah,
more often, which is disturbing their sleep. So again, this is what the whole idea of sleep hygiene is: to develop good sleep habits, so that when you sleep and when you wake up in the morning, you feel rested and rejuvenated to take on the day. Because the whole purpose of sleep is restoration and
that,
repair. So
yeah,
if you don't do that, if you don't sleep well enough, and you think it's okay to sleep less because I can do without less sleep, sooner or later you will have a problem.
yeah. So that is why we tell them that before you go to sleep, we
Mhm.
tell everyone you've got to, of course, like you said, put off all your electrical things, but we say put some music and then use the essential oils, put on a diffuser with the essential oil. You can use lavender, or you can use a blend of it. Like you can put a drop of lavender, a drop of neroli, and a drop of sandalwood together in this little water and put it on a diffuser. So that again gives you the same thing, because when you put three together, it not only works on the stress, like lavender works on stress, neroli works on anxiety, and of course sandalwood will work on depression. So we put it all together, and so it's going to give you a double whammy, triple whammy. In fact, it'll just make you, it'll work on everything. So we put that into water, and then we tell them also to have a bath. You must have a bath, or if you haven't got a tub, of course that is not available, get a little bucket, or have a shower, and then take a little cloth, a little towel, and put the oils on it and just rub it around you. So these oils, they are very, very fine. Their molecule is so fine, so they penetrate into the skin. This is how, and it goes right in, circulates all over, and helps to balance it out and then come back. So that is how the oils work. We don't need to really use it. So that is what we are trying to tell people who have a problem sleeping, to try to use the oil this way and have a light meal, and like you were saying, not too much of water and teas and that sort of thing. Coffee, of course, never, never. And that is what we've been doing with these things. That is really interesting. And
Talking about
also you
insomnia, but what we're seeing is that
yeah,
your voice is cracking. Hello, yeah, can you hear me?
hello. Then I can hear you. I can hear.
So
Yes.
what we've also observed, that apart from insomnia, some people probably are not, having trouble sleeping, but
Yeah.
some people are feeling very anxious and stressed out. So,
Yes, that.
how can aromatherapy help with relieving anxiety?
Now, anxiety, how does it help? When you're when you're anxious about something, definitely it's your mind, and your mind is, you're feeling anxious, the whole body is there, and you, of course, you find your adrenal glands, they are working all the more. You'll find you also, your stomach is, churning, the whole thing, it works together, your diaphragm. So when we use this oil called orange blossom or neroli, you will find it goes, of course, when you use it, even with smell, it works to your sense of smell. So when you smell something, you have this is your olfactory bulb
Mhm.
over here. Now that receives it first, and it goes and gets processed of your brain. That is, organs. Also, you will have all the glands, the main glands that, hypothalamus, pituitary, and which help to control all the glands in your body. So when you smell this, you are anxious, and serotonin, so it helps to calm you down. And of course, it works on the rest of your glands, your adrenal glands and the others. So you feel calmer. You will find, like I find this, I find even rose helps anxiety, and that is why
That's nice.
they use so much in weddings, because to use this, it helps to calm you down, helps you to feel a little more relaxed. So we use it, so it helps to really make you feel less, and definitely you're going to sleep better, because one of the main things of not sleeping well is anxiety, because you're always thinking, and it helps to calm your mind also. That is the most important thing, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
So neroli is really. But now another thing I was waiting for to ask you: does diet play a part in this sleeping? Foods, and how much of a role does it play? A diet.
Diet along with your lifestyle definitely plays a role. you know uh,
Uh,
see, uh, lately they have found that how we sleep depends on our genes. Like, if you're a morning person, or if you're an evening person, if you're a lark or an owl, depends a lot on your genes. But again, as you all know, that your genes
yeah,
can be modulated. We can modify our genes, based upon our lifestyle and our nutrition and diet which we have. So, if you don't like to wake up in the morning, but you have to wake up because you have to go to work, because you have to lead a normal life.
yeah,
So there are foods which have been found to be, to affect your sleep in a positive way, which can help you induce sleep. So, there's something called L-tryptophan, which is an amino acid, which helps you in producing something called serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter, which helps you
yeah,
relax. And this neurotransmitter serotonin helps you in the production of something called melatonin. A lot of us, a lot of
yeah,
us those melatonin tablets and capsules in pharmacies and these supplement shops. And you must have heard about it to cure jet lag and things like that. So melatonin is produced in our body through certain foods, especially things like walnuts, almonds, warm milk, even pistachios are very good at inducing sleep. Then magnesium rich food.
mm,
Magnesium is one a mineral which helps in making you sleep better, and which helps in inducing restorative sleep. So if you sleep, a lot of people sleep, but when they wake up, they don't feel rested. If you have magnesium deficiency, you will never feel rested when you wake up. So things like bananas are very rich in magnesium. It is also very rich in tryptophan, you know so things like
uh,
whole grains, oats, these are things which can help you to have good sleep. Again, if you are not being able to sleep because of anxiety, things like chamomile tea can calm you down. Apart from these, the things which are anti sleep are things like caffeine. But again, talking about caffeine,
uh,
what we've seen is there are some people who are slow metabolizers of caffeine. If you're a slow metabolizer of caffeine,
Okay.
it lingers in your system longer and it will affect your sleep. But if you're a fast metabolizer of caffeine, caffeine won't affect your sleep. And that's the reason why we see
Oh,
variation amongst people. You might see some people, they drink a cup of coffee and they sleep like a baby. And,
oh,
and some people might have a very weak green tea and they can't sleep. So, talking
yes.
about diet, it's very personalized. What works for one may not work for the other. But talking
Okay.
about these foods in general, they are sleep inducing foods. They also say like a tart cherry juice is very rich in melatonin. If you don't feel sleepy, have tart cherry juice at night. It will induce sleep.
That's
Uh,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, and at the same time, I also want to, there's a caveat which comes with this. Like a lot of people think that, okay, this food works to induce sleep. So if bananas are very good to help me sleep, let me have a lot of bananas at night. It will make me sleep. But it doesn't work like that. you know and you have to include these foods in your
Yeah.
daily diet basically, and you have to eat a balanced, healthy, nutritious diet.
Mhm.
Because if you have deficiencies, like see a lot of women, especially middle-aged women, they find it difficult to sleep because they have pain in their legs, they have joint pains. It's because of the pain they are unable to sleep. So for them, they need to check up on the
Oh,
calcium
yes.
levels, their vitamin D, magnesium. If they have deficiencies of all of these things, even if they have the tart cherry juice or the chamomile tea or all the fancy products, even on a melatonin supplement, they won't be able to sleep. And we've also seen, there's
Yeah.
a new terminology called the social jet lag. I don't know if you've heard of it. Like we've heard about jet lag, that if you
No.
travel,
Social,
social jet lag. This happens when, during the
social
week,
jet lag. That's
yeah,
interesting.
during the week, you sleep at a fixed time, say from 7 to, you wake up at 7, you go to bed by 11 because you have to go to work the next day. But on the weekends, your routine goes completely haywire. You sleep at 4 a.m. and wake
Yeah.
up at 1 p.m. People do that. So that's again like moving from one time zone to another time zone, and in a very short period of time.
Okay.
So that's called
Yeah.
social jet lag. It's a new coined term for today's day and age. And this is something which is affecting a lot of people. So we need to tell
Oh,
people not to do this, because this can
that's
have
it.
very bad impact on your regular sleep. You'll always suffer from insomnia. In fact, the people, and especially kids, who are suffering from not only insomnia, there's something called hypersomnia. Where they're sleeping a lot.
Oh, yeah.
During the pandemic also, we have seen some people are really sleeping too much because they don't have much to do, so they're just sleeping. So if you sleep too much, like say if you're sleeping
Mm.
for 14 hours in a day or maybe 13 hours in a day, even that has a bad impact on your health. You can have neck pain, you can have back pain, you
That's
can, yeah, that means you're depressed, you are stressed out.
definitely depression. Mm.
So it's all about striking a balance, even with regards to food or your number of hours you're sleeping. Again, getting tired, movement. Some people, they just they probably do the exercise in the mornings, but during the day they don't move. So you need regular movement also for the body's,
Mm.
you
That
know
is very,
because that's when
and
you get
you were,
tired.
yeah, and you were talking about some people have pain and so they can't sleep. Now, for that is one of the reason is lavender.
Mhm.
If they have any pain, like they have, you could have maybe spondylosis, neck, shoulders, joints, you just take this lavender and massage it on that area.
Mhm.
You will find that this definitely helps the pain. So this is one oil, lavender, that helps the pain. And so that is another reason it helps a person to also sleep better, because it helps pain. And you'll find in about 10 to 15 minutes, it will really reduce the pain. So lavender is one of these pain relieving oils that we have.
A
Yeah,
lot of women
that,
don't sleep. Many women who come to my clinic will complain that I hardly sleep. Some people can sleep easily, but they have interrupted sleep. They just wake up.
mm,
But there are some people who don't, they're not able to sleep, because once they get to sleep, they will sleep. Getting
yeah.
into sleep mode becomes very difficult for them. So, is there any difference here? Like, say you get up in the middle of the sleep, would
Uh,
you should you put the oil back again, or something like that.
Yeah, now this is another thing. We keep a bottle of oil next to you. You can keep lavender next to you, because if you get up in the middle, just apply a little, even like this, or on your nose, you can go back to sleep again, because it really it really helps you to sleep. So what happens is, very often people get up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, or and then they never go to sleep back again. Maybe they go to sleep late also and get up at this time. So that's when we tell them to put a little oil back again and put it onto your nose, and or take a deep breath, or 3 deep breaths, and you will find that that is going to relax the person and go back to sleep. Because when they have this wake up, in the middle, you will find at that time everything is so quiet, and they'll keep thinking all their problems back again. This is what happened, and that is what, and what do I do? So we say, use lavender again, because what happens is, once they wake up, if they go out, or they get coffee, or they get something to drink, it's going to really break their sleep. So we say, keep the lavender next to you and just put it, or put a drop of lavender on your pillow. So you can just put it next to you, or put it on a tissue under your pillow, so you can use it, and it's definitely going to help you to go back to sleep. It does help, and I know it helps, because even I use it many times when I have all these things going on. Then I keep the lavender and keep using it. It works. And also for pain, definitely it works. So these are two of the big problems they come with: pain and getting up in the middle of the.
If your knees are aching, can you put lavender?
Pardon?
If your knees are aching, or
Yeah.
your elbows are
Yeah.
aching,
If you have, use lavender, it really works. It works very well.
over the
It
joint.
works excellent. Pardon?
You can put it over the joint which is aching.
Just apply it over the joint, whichever is aching. That's all. It helps the joints. It'll help your spondylosis. It works. It really gives a relief. And also, it's
Where can
good.
you get your lavender oil in Calcutta?
Now in Calcutta, you can get it Sunny Farms, or Solace. Yes,
Yeah.
Solace. You get it at Solace. Okay, that's the
Available
place.
right now? Is it open?
It's working. It's working. It's open now. Yeah. So we've discussed that. But now another thing I wanted to ask you: is it detrimental to health if we sleep late, or if we don't get enough sleep? Because I know the youngsters these days, they just, somehow they never want to sleep. I don't know what it is. So I keep thinking, it must be upsetting for their health, but I am not an expert on that. So I would love to ask you, is it detrimental to health?
Yes, of course, it's detrimental for their health, because it's because of the blue light exposure. The reason why they're not sleeping is because they have so much to explore. On social media, there's Netflix, there's, the works. There's so many things to watch for them. There's YouTube channels, they have to be on Instagram, they have to update their profiles. So, and now because of their schools or the colleges being online, so there is study time is also online, and then the recreation time is also online. So it's become like a double whammy for them. So what's happening is, we see a lot of teenagers, because of this extreme exposure to blue light, they find it difficult to sleep, and some of them are only clocking in 3 hours 4 hours of sleep nowadays. So that's the reason we see a lot of depression and anxiety amongst these kids. So, and they have anger issues, they don't know how to deal with things, and they don't really understand that it's because of sleep, because they really don't understand that how important sleep is. They see sleep as a wastage of time. They feel that I can do much more, but actually they have to understand that sleep is something which restores your life. It's something which repairs your body. Moreover, teenagers who, especially girls, if they sleep less, you'll see, endocrine disruption. I mean, hormonal disruptions in their body. There are a lot of young girls are getting polycystic ovarian disease. And many a times you see that, it's actually a lifestyle disorder. Because they get very disappointed especially when they put on weight, or they start getting too much of acne or hair fall, and they go to their doctors and they tell them that go and lose weight, or and especially the ones who are lean polycystic ovarian cases, they feel, where is the weight? How do I lose the weight? So it's actually not the weight, but because you're not sleeping at the right time, your hormones are getting disrupted, and they need to understand that your body restores its hormones between 11 to 4. Your skin repairs between 11 to 4, 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. And in that window, at least get 2-3 hours of that window, and you should be sleeping at that point of time. So if you're not doing that, your skin will be affected, your memory, your cognitive function, your focus, you'll have anger issues. So yeah, they need to be made aware of this, that how important sleep is. Like sleep is like medicine.
I know. Yes, yes. I know for the skin, definitely. When they come with a bad skin to me, I know definitely they are not sleeping enough. So no, I didn't know it causes all these other problems like hormonal and everything else. I think that is something they should be aware of.
If you don't sleep, you'll always have palpitations. Especially when sleep deprivation becomes chronic, you'll feel that you're having palpitations all the time. And it happens in young people also. And then they have sudden panic attacks. It's very, very common. And many times people feel, doctors or parents starts doing investigation and think there's something big happening to the child. And, and at the end of the day, you get to know it's just simply lack of sleep which caused the problem. So sleep can be so very important.
I know it is really, really important. I knew it was very important for the beauty, for their dark circles. Right. I mean, they come with dark circles. I'd say definitely they are not sleeping, because that is one of the main things. And the oxygen, we'd have a less oxygen. The skin over here is so thin, so we can see a lack of oxygen in them. So that is how the dark circles. So then but we can give them any amount to put externally. It has to really come from internal. Like sleep is definitely, like you were saying, it is a very important thing. And a lot of people are not getting enough sleep. Or
many people are not getting enough sleep. Especially women, and I feel young a lot.
Women and?
The younger generation, I mean the teenagers and the people in the early 20s, they are the worst affected. Because the older people still feel that it's important to sleep, but the younger people, they don't even feel the importance of sleep hygiene, as we spoke about. So
that's true.
I think we should now, because we've spoken for for almost 45 minutes now, I think we should open to people to ask questions to us. So let's open it to questions. Let's see where the co-host is.
All right, so we are now answering questions. If you do have a question about sleep or aromatherapy or anything related to your sleep cycle, you can use the Zoom feature of raising your hand and we will get to you. Your question will be answered, or you can leave your question in the chat section of Zoom and I will read it out. It will be answered. You can ask your questions now.
Questions.
Okay, so Afreen Zaman has raised her hand. Afreen, you could unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my question is thank you so much, Mr. Awesome and Ms. Hena Nafis. It was a really interesting topic, and I was very keen on to listen to this, because I am being affected by this from the last 7 to 8 years. And I know of lavender oil. I'm using it as an essence. But one more thing which is helping me is from the last 2 years is eucalyptus oil. So can you tell me about that?
Yes.
Eucalyptus.
Now, eucalyptus is really a good oil, and that, of course, it is antiseptic, antiviral, and it helps to, and I can't say it helps to make you sleep, but it must be clearing your nose.
Yes,
when you smell eucalyptus.
Issue. Yeah, I have sinus issue, so that is why someone has suggested me that.
Sinus helps you to breathe, and and definitely when you breathe better, you're definitely going to sleep better. Okay. And by the way, this eucalyptus is something that you should use in this pandemic because it is a very, very strong antiviral. It's got very strong antiviral properties, and you can use it in a diffuser, use it in your bath water, use it when you're going to sleep also is good. And after a bath, if you can just put it under your feet, you will find it definitely helps all the colds and flus and any of these things. So use it in your diffuser.
Okay. Okay. Thank
And
you so
that's
much. That
helping you
helps a lot.
success.
All right, Afreen, I hope that answered your question.
Yes.
We
Yes.
don't,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. So if anyone else has a question, you could raise your hand and ask it, or you could leave it in the chat section. Your questions could be about improving your sleep cycle, your diet to sleep better, aromatherapy, literally anything sleep related.
Yeah, we can ask her.
Mukesh George has just raised his hand. Mukesh, if you could ask your question, please.
Hi, everybody. Actually, I would apologize that I joined just a couple of minutes back. But one
That's
question
no
that
problem.
pops up in my mind is a lot of people, they just simply, say, okay, that I don't get to sleep. Uh, you know, it's not easy for me to get to sleep. I get to sleep very late at night. So, and I mean, I would say that I remain just clueless. Like maybe you go read a book. Uh, Book reading puts you to sleep, I guess, and maybe just keep your eyes closed and just shut yourself down. But I would like to ask you, Ms. Blossom, if you can suggest maybe some quick ways, maybe some tricks, like I don't know, something that can help people to put to sleep.
Like I was saying, talking to you, maybe you missed that. Take, lavender. Just put a bit of lavender in the center of your palms. Okay. Then just rub it like this. Take a deep breath, 3 deep breaths. Put it on solar plexus. Okay. Under your feet. That definitely helps a person to sleep well. But another thing I would recommend to you is please don't read before you go to sleep. Just relax, have a good shower, put the oils on, and listen to some nice soft music. Recommend for you. And I'm sure maybe we have Hena who could tell you something else, maybe that you could have like some kind of a drink or something before you sleep, or something to do with your diet. Because if you have been having this for some time, I'm sure the whole thing will help you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Hena now.
Actually, I
What?
couldn't hear him properly. I couldn't hear his question. You know.
Okay. His question was, I think his question was, I think he says that for a long time he was not able to sleep, and he's been trying everything and not read and been reading and still not going to sleep sleeping quite very late. So what was the oil? So I gave him some quick way, and I'm sure there is something to do with the diet. Definitely, like you were saying something about those things that help the melatonin. Even I think that is something should be
Sure. So,
good.
I like
Very
to ask
nice.
Mukesh,
You,
in case, does he have a lot of caffeine things like tea, coffee throughout the day, or maybe towards the later part of the day?
Henna, actually, it's not like that. That I take a lot of caffeine. Actually, the question was that people ask me. I mean, sometimes we get to speak to our friends and they get into, okay, I cannot sleep, till late, very late at night. So that is what I was asking. What can be done for what can we suggest to the people like that? Maybe some quickies, like
Yeah.
you do this particular
There are,
trick,
there are
do that,
various
and you go
ways,
to sleep.
what
If
works,
somebody doesn't have,
what works, like
if somebody doesn't have the access to maybe some oil or drinks like that, if we can suggest for them something,
I
they
think
do
the
not have
first
anything to apply.
thing, which you need to keep in mind is that you have to first understand that why aren't you being able to sleep? What keeps you from sleeping? You know, to identify the triggers. Is it your thoughts, or is it that you're not tired, or are you not, moving enough? Are you not exposed to sunlight? Because you're not exposed to natural light, they produce less melatonin in the bodies, which can also affect the sleep cycle. See, melatonin is something which affects your sleep and wake up cycle, the circadian rhythm of your body. So, one needs to understand that why is it getting disrupted. And also at the same time, if you're sleeping less or if you're sleeping late, you feel very rested when you wake up in the morning, or you feel tired. Even simple things like thyroid disorders, people who have hypothyroidism, even they have problems with sleep. So there could be, if you can't find a reason, and if it's becoming chronic, then you need to go to a sleep doctor, somebody who's a sleep expert who can figure out for you that why is this happening to you. So if it's just plain simple thoughts or some anxiety or, some stress in your life, these are the very perpetuating factor. Now, there are a lot of things from a dietary point of view, having nuts or having warm milk with honey at night or drinking chamomile tea, which can help you. There are a lot of people who drink a lot of water during the later part of the day, and then they keep on going to the loo, and that keeps them up. So there are various reasons why you are not sleeping, and you need to identify that what is that is keeping you up first. And if you don't have an answer, if your insomnia is getting chronic, it's affecting your quality of life, then sometimes you need to take medication also, and there's no harm doing that. Okay,
Great.
I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Mukesh.
All right, Mukesh, I hope that answered you. It's like Ma'am said, the little things often go a long way. In my case, something like just improving my diet, having a little warm milk before sleeping. Our next question is from Bisma Munam. Bisma, please ask your question.
Hi, both. So basically, I've always sort of been a sleeper, and I've always been on a late, uh, you know, thinking that I do my work at night. Of course, it's not really feasible, and I would really like to shift to sort of cycle
Hear you, Bisma.
wake up early. Can you hear me?
Not very clear to me. I don't know about the others, but I can't hear you.
Very
Bisma, your voice is breaking up a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah. So basically, I've always been on a very sort of late cycle, sleeping late because I always thought that, get more work done at night or something. But I would prefer to sort of reset my body clock and, be able to rise earlier and fresher and not feel lethargic. So what could be some of the ways that I could do that? Of course, I would apply what you all have said about going to bed earlier, but just some tips on waking up naturally, resetting the body clock, that would be really helpful.
So should I take the question or Blossom's taking question?
take.
Anyone, both of you all would be tips would be great from both of you all.
So Blossom, why don't you give us some tips?
Okay.
Yeah.
Give a tip for that, and I'll give a tip with the oil. Now, like we have oils that help you to calm down, we have oils that also help you to pep up. So what I would suggest is, and of course, abroad we normally get those little things which you use it and then they will just spray the oil onto you. But since we don't have that around, what you can do is you can take rosemary oil. Rosemary, as soon as you wake up, you're not feeling too great, take a bit of rosemary. It's called rosemary essential oil. Just rub it like this and just take a breath. You will find straight away it sends a message to the brain that it's time to wake up, and it helps to pep you up. And you can go right through the morning until, you know, you're feeling all balanced again. And then you see you can start with this oil. It's called rosemary, and you can get a teeny bottle, because with these oils, you only need a drop. You don't need anything more than a drop. Okay. And you can use it even in your bath water. Like you can have a shower and just put this on your towel and just rub it all over so that it gets you working.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
That's
Biswa,
very interesting. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah.
well, I would suggest that if you want to reset your clock, the first thing is that you have to start sleeping a little early. You know, you have to slowly, go back. Say if you sleep at 2 a.m. or something, don't try to, start sleeping at 11 a.m. You won't be able to do that. 11 p.m. Sorry, you won't be able to do that.
That's
So slowly, like from 2 a.m. you have to make it 1:45, then 1:30, and then you have to slowly move your clock back.
right.
And then try to wake up 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
And you can give yourself some time to do it, because it won't happen in a jiffy, because you know, I mean, there has been a lot of studies which have shown that people are different. Some of us are nocturnal people, some of us are morning people.
Yeah.
And society has been a little biased to all the larks,
Very true.
to all the owls actually.
That's
Yeah.
The world doesn't work like that. But some of us are actually nocturnal persons, especially creative people, who need to have their own space and own time, and they don't want disturbance. That's when they can actually think and do their work. So, you don't have to really follow, if it does not affect your daily life. If you sleep a little late and you're clocking in 8 hours, you shouldn't feel bad about it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
my advice to you. And if you really want to wake up early because you have something to do and you must wake up at that time, then you gradually try to set your clock backwards, and that's something which will help you. But don't
Thank
be
you
too
so
harsh
much.
on yourself, because that will create more anxiety, more
Yeah,
stress.
absolutely. That's right. And if I could just ask, so I know you talk about essential oils and everything. Is it
Yeah.
also possible to maybe have a lavender soap or rosemary soap or a bath lotion
Of
to,
course.
yeah, would that
You,
work?
yes, you can have a rosemary soap, you can have a lavender soap, you can have a bath gel of the
Right.
same. Even you can have a face wash of the same. That's what we have made, so that it's easier for you all instead of just using the
Right.
oils. It's fine. Try that.
Right.
The,
Thanks so
the
much. Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, the next question is from Shruti Goenka. Go ahead, Shruti.
Yeah, hi. It was a very nice session. I would like to know, like, most of the time I get 6.5 to 7 hours of sleep, and I realize that I'm okay. I'm not feeling that lethargic. I'm fresh enough to do my day. But is this necessary to have this 8 hours? Because usually I don't get that much sleep. I'm mostly fresh in my 7 hours or maybe 6.5 hours.
Hena,
Yeah, Shruti, how old are you? If
Right now I'm 40.
you are 30,
40.
40. Well,
Yes.
for a 40-year-old, it's important that we sleep between 7 to 8 hours. I mean, that's the recommended sleep, from the American Academy of Sleep. That's a recommendation for the amount of hours you should clock in. So if you're sleeping around 7 hours, that's no problem. Actually, some days you're sleeping for 6.5 hours, that's okay. But if it's happening every day, then you should try and sleep for another half an hour. Because, studies have shown that even if you sleep for half an hour less, it actually adds like a debt. It keeps on accumulating. And, you won't realize, but later you will have problems because of this little lack of sleep. You may not realize, but you may see that you get anxious easily, or you feel depressed. Sometimes people tend to get high blood pressure problems also because of this. So if it's not too much of a problem for you, if you can sleep for half an hour more, that will be highly recommended.
Yes, thank you. And one more thing is that I'm a mother of 2 children, school-going children. So my whole life has been revolved around them, and my alarm has been always set on school days at 6:30 or 6, because to make their tiffin and make them get up. And maybe that anxiety was not letting me sleep. My sleep automatically, I used to get up half an hour, 40 minutes before the alarm used to go off. I had a scare in the night also the alarm won't go off in the morning. I will not be able to wake up my children to send them to school. That anxiety used to really bother me. And since this pandemic has been on, I've been getting a wonderful sleep because there's no alarm in my life anymore. And I'm sleeping like a baby now. I'm so happy with my sleep. But I know this thing will get back. It should get back, and that alarm will again come back to my life. So what should I what should I do about this?
Well, you have to think of, not get anxious about it. Maybe sleep half an hour earlier if you want to wake up, And since you've been doing it for so many years, it must have become your habit, isn't it? Or
Yes.
you find it difficult to wake up?
No. I am a very, very much morning person. I'm very fresh in the morning. I can do wonderful in the morning. At night, I get tired. I'm not a night person at all.
There you go. So there's no problems at all for you. You're one of those lucky ones who wake up early. You know. So
But
I think
this alarm thing is, it was really troubling me throughout this school life of my children. I had this, trouble getting up in the night. I used to wake up and see the time. I was very anxious that it's 6 o'clock. Or is it 6 o'clock already? I am not. Maybe I've forgotten to put my alarm. These thoughts used to chase me all night.
that's you have to get. You have to try and deal with your anxiety. Try and calm yourself down. And so many years of waking up your children, I think they should have become a part of you.
Yes, definitely. It
So,
has.
and another thing, which you could do is, I don't know if it's possible, but if in your bedroom, if you have a window through which sunlight comes through, if you could keep your curtains up, the
Yeah.
natural light can fall on your face and can wake you up too.
I know I will wake up, ma'am, but the thing is that scare, some fright, even though my son is 15, 16 now, I've been doing it for last 14 years, but then I don't know, this thing has been chasing me because this is the time when I realized for the last 3-4 months, my children have not gone to school. So I've been having a very good sleep.
So maybe you have to wait for 2 more years for your children to pass out. you know,
Okay.
because this is something which you'll have to tell yourself and explain. You have to do a little bit of introspection, which you've already done, and not get so anxious, because I think
Yes.
you should just wake up automatically anyway. It's in your DNA now to wake up at that time.
Yeah.
And you can use, not to get so anxious, we can give you some neroli. Neroli, orange blossom, just put it in some potpourri and keep it next to your bed. You will find
Is neroli easily available?
Yeah, you can get it's orange blossom. So it's easily available, and put it onto, in a little potpourri, and you just need a few drops, 10 drops into that, and it'll last you for a very long time. So just that'll help.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I hope that answered your question, Shruti. The next question is from Usha Agarwal. Go ahead, Usha.
Hello. Hi, Hena. I just wanted to know what is your take on intermittent fasting, sorry.
Well, I have.
I have my last meal at 6 o'clock and then my next meal at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I wake up at 5 o'clock for my morning walk. So, and sleep by 10. But I have to wake up a lot.
You've been doing intermittent fasting already, right? Does it help you?
I'm doing it for the past 1.5 years now.
Yeah. So do you like doing it?
Yeah, I like doing it. I think it's suiting me a lot,
Yeah, then you should do it. There's no problem.
Okay. Only thing is that I have to get up at night for 2-3 times to go to the toilet. So it disturbs my sleep. That's all.
But I don't think the intermittent fasting is disturbing your sleep. If you're hungry and if you feel like eating, that may definitely affect your sleep. But if you're not, then
I don't feel hungry.
But are you drinking a lot of fluids when you're not eating at night?
I am not eating at night, but I'm drinking a lot of water.
Yeah, so you finish your meal at 6,
yes.
Right? So after that, and you're sleeping by what time?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, for 4 hours, you are drinking water.
Yeah, I mean, not much water, but 2-3 glasses maybe.
So maybe you can reduce the amount of water to maybe just 2 or 1.5 glasses and see And it all depends how big your glasses are, because if you have 300 ml glasses, or
Yeah, it is about 300 ml.
Wow.
almost having a liter of water, before sleeping.
Yeah.
Probably, so you have to definitely reduce the amount of water you're drinking.
Okay.
These are, the effects of, these kind of diets. Because, when you don't eat, you have to, kind of satiate yourself with something, or you fill your stomach with something. So you, instead of eating, you start drinking. And
Okay.
you have to do it in the body at night when you start sleep.
Okay.
If that's happening, sleep disruption, on a chronic basis will affect your weight, can affect a lot of other parameters, like the BP or insulin resistance and all of that. So,
Yes.
increase the cortisol hormone, and you might see that you're ending up with a much bigger belly than you had when you started.
Yeah, because my age is 74.
Oh, I don't think you should be doing all this.
Yeah.
You should just enjoy your life.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. Thanks for the question, Usha. It's like Ma'am said, just because a diet is in trend, it doesn't necessarily mean you should follow it. Follow it if it suits you, if it suits your lifestyle. The next question is from Xiaomi Nyogi. Go ahead, Xiaomi.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you so much for this lovely session. I wanted to ask, are there any other mineral apart from magnesium that helps to induce sleep?
Apart from magnesium, potassium is an electrolyte which helps. See, it's a synergy of different hormones, neurotransmitters, chemicals which work in sleep, right? So it's all interconnected basically. So even things like vitamin B6 is very important.
Sorry, ma'am, vitamin?
Vitamin B6.
Okay.
So vitamin B6 rich foods are like things like bananas, carrots, eggs, milk. So, you have to understand one thing, that it's not one particular thing which will make you sleep, because the nutrients work in a synergistic fashion. You need to have everything in your body for it to work together. And see, like, you can't say that, I want to sleep better, but I don't want energy. You want energy also at the same time. And all of that is linked, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you need to work on a total health. If you are, well nourished, you will not have problems.
Yeah.
Magnesium
And these.
also, because sometimes you may find that without any reason you eat well, you sleep well, I mean you exercise and you're doing all things right, but still you are not being able to sleep. That's when you
Yes.
find out if you have any deficiencies in the body, and what is the reason behind your lack of sleep. That identification of the trigger is extremely important.
And the sleep-inducing food, should we include it with our dinner or maybe half an hour post our dinner?
See, you could have it with your dinner, because see, if you eat too much, also very heavy meals will also not let you sleep, because that can
Yes.
slow down your digestion. It can give you heartburn and acidity and things like that. So even these sleep-inducing foods, if you want to have, you should have it like at least 2 hours before you want to sleep. But things like a little cup of warm milk can be had just half an hour before sleep with a little honey, which can help you.
Say, suppose I want to have a banana. So should I have it with my dinner or maybe
Just like half an hour before your dinner, after your dinner, before you sleep. Sorry.
okay. Okay. And ma'am,
Just plan to just have like a bowl of oats with milk and banana. You can make that your dinner. You want to have a little light dinner. So milk helps in inducing sleep, but warm milk. And banana has tryptophan and magnesium, which can help you with sleep. Oats is very rich in B6. So you're having the whole concoction of nutrients, which helps you, produce more melatonin and helps you sleep.
yes, yes. And is there any perfect timing to go to sleep, like say 11 p.m. to 7 maybe?
In the present scenario, and not only because of the COVID-19, but also otherwise, I mean, everybody's life is different. So, I really don't like to put a number to anything, because, that puts more stress on people's mind. Because, see, if you are a doctor, or if you are in a job which requires you to do more night shifts, or you own a restaurant, or you work you are a pilot or an air hostess, you can't really have these fixed hours. All you must try and do is that you're sleeping for at least 7 to 8 hours every day. You should try and
Okay.
put that in.
Okay. Thank
At the
you.
same time, if you lead a very normal life and you do a 9 to 5 job, or something like that, then the ideal time to sleep would be, between 11:30 to 12, I think, between 11 to 12.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks for this question, Shami. The next question is from Sonal. Sonal, please unmute yourself. Go ahead, ask your question. Sonal, can you hear us?
Hi. Yeah. Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'm so sorry. I joined in very late when you all started your questionnaire. My friend had told me to join in, but I just forgot. But you see, otherwise I sleep. I'm 60 plus. Only thing is when I have a cup of coffee, I get hyper, like I don't get sleep at all. And sometimes you do feel like having. So I was wondering if there is any remedy for that. If I have a cup of coffee sometimes, and then what do I do to get that sleep?
Well, you can, after having coffee, what you could do is you can drink more water. But again, caffeine is a diuretic. Water might also make you, urinate more. So that can also affect sleep, because, the only way I feel is that you can dilute the caffeine in the body is by drinking more water. Now, and the other thing which you could do is, if you do feel like having a cup of coffee, have less of it. Maybe have half a cup. Don't have the full cup.
Yeah, that's what I do actually. Just a small cup, but then that doesn't let me sleep.
Or make a weak coffee, or maybe have a decaf coffee.
Okay.
Okay. Because there are people genetically who have slow metabolizers of caffeine. So what happens is the caffeine stays in your bloodstream longer, and that's when the clearance doesn't happen, which can actually just waken you up and can raise your heart rate and all of that. But there are some people who are slow metabolizers of caffeine, genetically. So they fast metabolizers of caffeine. So they clear it out very quickly from their bodies, and they don't have any problem. So you probably are slow metabolizers of coffee. So you can
One of
probably have
them.
a decaf coffee, or you can make your coffee weak, put more water and more milk in it and less coffee, and see if it works for you.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, I hope that answered your question, Sonal. The next question is from Ranveer Singh. Go ahead, Ranveer. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Hi. First question I need to ask is that my mother is 65 plus, and she has a big problem in sleeping. And the biggest problem is she wakes up about 2 to 3 times at night to go to the toilet. And she doesn't have, she hardly has any water after, say, about 6 p.m. And she sleeps after 11 at least, because that's how the routine is in the house. So is there any remedy for her?
For her, I would suggest the aromatherapy, because I think it's definitely going to calm her down. And, also goes to the loo and comes bathroom and comes back, she's going to be able to sleep again. So, so lavender is something, I would suggest from my side, aromatherapy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Hena something also to suggest to you. But last thing have, because it's going to calm her and make her feel really good.
Okay, and how would she use it? How can she use lavender?
It on the center of her palms, okay, before she goes to bed. And then she'll use it on her solar plexus, just rub it down underneath her feet. And then she can just smell it. And then put a little in a tissue and keep it under her pillow. So when she goes to the bathroom and comes back, she can just smell it like this, so she can go again. Okay. So that will help. And definitely it'll help her to calm down and make her feel really good. That is thing. Now we can ask Hena.
Yeah.
Ranveer, I would like to know, how old is your mom? You said 60?
She's 65 plus.
Okay. She's not that old, So
yeah.
Is she a very anxious person?
Not so much, but normal like everybody else usually
Because
is.
she doesn't drink water, you said, after 6 p.m., right?
No, she tries not to. So maybe just very little with some medicine or something, because since she has to go to the toilet so many times and she's quite bulky also. That's another problem.
Right. Maybe you need to first see a urologist and see how you can, there are medicines which can help in bladder control, because I think
Okay.
that's the primary reason why she's unable to sleep. Because if she
Yeah.
has on going to loo, then see, it works both ways. Then you don't feel sleepy, you feel like going to the loo, or
Right.
some water in the bedroom and you start sipping on water. So it's a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah.
You don't know it's because of the urination that you can't sleep, or it's because of sleep you're urinating.
Okay.
So that needs to be identified first. The other thing is, sometimes people her age, they don't really move a lot. They don't do any
Yeah.
exercise. So they're not really
She's quite
tired.
active.
She's active,
Oh,
but does she do
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
exercise?
Yeah. She does yoga. She goes for walks.
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
And she's active at the house or in the house also, in the kitchen and everything.
Yeah, because she is not that old.
Yeah.
And is she exposed to sunlight? A lot of people her age are nowadays very busy on their phones, on their smartphones. So I don't know what is
Okay.
the level of exposure to the blue light from
Yeah.
gadgets.
I don't think none. She reads before sleeping because she feels that might help in sleeping, so she tries to read something before sleeping.
I think in this case, if everything else is all right in terms of her lifestyle, then you must
Yeah.
must consult a urologist and see
Okay.
how could you control her
Yeah.
urination
Another
and
thing is that sometimes because of anxiety, she takes a sleeping pill.
Mhm.
So is that hampering her sleep? Because sometimes it's like she just cannot sleep. So then, she gets really tired in the morning and that takes a toll on her health. So then she
See,
just pops a
again,
sleeping
sleeping
pill.
pills can't be taken like toffees.
I know, yeah.
So I don't know if it's a sleeping pill or an anxiolytic drug, because they're two different stuff.
Okay.
So you need to if she's having a tranquilizer or she's having a sedative, that needs to be identified. So I think if
Okay.
this is really affecting her quality of life, she should
Yeah.
see a urologist, and she must also see a sleep expert who can guide her with medication. Because if
Okay.
lifestyle measures don't help her, then she should be put on medication, because at her age, if she's so sleep deprived, it will affect her cardiovascular health. It will cause depression. It can cause
Yeah.
a lot of other health issues. And lack of sleep also leads to obesity. So if she's
Right.
already overweight, it will add to her weight gain, because her cortisol levels will go up. So she will
Right.
be very stressed out and all of that. So
Yeah.
this needs a little more medical intervention. And
Okay.
if
And
national
anything that she could do for the urine problem at night?
Yes, there are medications which doctors give, to kind of reduce urination. You know.
Okay.
And another thing which you could teach your mom is something which we call double voiding. Because what happens is,
Yeah.
as we age, our bladder gets a little weak, and people tend to have residual urine. So what happens
Okay.
is, she goes and urinates, but there's some little residual urine back in her
Mm-hmm.
bladder. It makes her feel
Yeah.
like urinating again, and she goes to the loo again. So
Okay.
this is a very simple thing which is called double voiding. If you teach her that when she goes uses the toilet, after
Yeah.
passing the urine, she should
Yeah.
stand up and walk like 10-12 steps in the toilet, and again sit back on the pot and try and
Okay.
urinate. So that the whatever urine is left behind will also come out. So then
Yeah.
visits to the bathroom will be reduced.
Okay.
This is
I'm
one
sure that will help.
thing which may help her.
Yeah.
Mm.
And another thing I wanted to ask is, will the recording be there on Instagram or something so that I could make her watch it of this session
Will be, yes.
on Instagram, ma'am?
Yes, on Instagram. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Well,
ma'am.
Thank you.
Awesome. I hope that answered your question. I hope it helps your mom sleep better. The
I
next
hope so
question,
too. Thank you so much.
awesome. The next question is from Madhavi Banerjee. Please go ahead, Madhavi.
Yes, thank you, Hena, and thank you, Blossom. That was very, very informative. Two quick questions. One to Blossom. Any oils you can suggest for headaches, migraine, one-sided headache?
Okay. Now for migraine one-sided headaches, there is we have a blended oil which is called it's called Hedi, which you just have to take it and apply. It's excellent for one-sided headaches, and you'll apply it onto your eyebrows and of course your temples, and then take a little and just massage it all over your head and especially behind your ears down. Now that helps a lot. It's called Hedi, the oil. It's a blend of these oils. It's basil and peppermint. Now, if you don't have that, you can just smell peppermint. You can just use some peppermint. That is another oil that helps.
Right, thank you. And Hena, you mentioned having banana and oats as an option for inducing sleep. So could the breakfast menu be swapped with the dinner menu, and and that
Yes, of
be
course.
taken for dinner? And is that okay? Or I thought, I was going to be taking in carbs in terms of oat. And is this oat with bran or just the regular steel cut oats that we get?
You can add a regular steel cut oats. You can add the bran to it. If you are worried about your weight, you can use low fat milk, But I mean, it's a balanced meal which you can have at night as well. You're having a grain, which is oats, you're having protein, which is milk, and you're having fiber in the form of banana. And banana is going to give you the tryptophan and the magnesium and the B6, so it will help you induce better sleep. So you can definitely swap it, no problem.
Okay, so this should be the full meal should be the the oat banana.
Very high in calories either, if you don't put too much of sugar in it, because banana will add to the natural sweetness to the oats. And if you want, you can put a little honey, because honey also helps in inducing sleep. It actually lowers something called orexin, which is a neurotransmitter, which actually disrupts sleep. So if you want, you can put maybe half a teaspoon of honey, and if weight is not a problem, you can add a little more honey.
If weight is a problem, then no honey, right?
Less honey, Shonamashi.
Less. Okay, right. Thank you. Thank you.
I really don't think we have any more questions. Usha, your hand is still raised. Do you have a question, or did you not put your hand down? In that case, we don't really have.
No, I don't. Sorry, I forgot to put the hand down. It's okay.
I thought so. No problem.
Okay.
In that case, we don't really have any more questions. So we are going to wrap up the webinar for today. Put me to sleep. It's been amazing. Thank you, Dr. Kochhar, for coming
so
on
much,
this
Hena.
topic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Blossom, for
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Hena. Thank you. It was wonderful.
It was a wonderful session. Wonderful.
I loved it.
Thank you.
I learned a lot too today. Thank you.
So did I.
Even I learned so much.
Thank you, Hena Nafis, for conducting this.
Sleep hygiene. What is it called? What is that jet thing called?
Sleep hygiene.
Emotional jet lag.
No, social jet lag.
Social, sorry. Social jet.
Yeah.
The new
social distancing.
Yeah.
Got too much of social stuff, isn't it?
It's wonderful interacting with you.
Thank you so much,
I
everyone,
learned so much.
for joining the webinar. It was a pleasure having all of you with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hena. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Blossom.
So much.